Listen, the shocking truth is that the Dallas Mavericks may not be quite as bad as we originally thought. Okay, it's so funny how much can change with a nice little 2-3 game stretch. And right now we are riding high on a 2-game winning streak, and we are definitely going to send the Miami Heat into the shadow realm tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Now, as we gear up for our second matchup of the season against the Heat, we'll do a brief overview of what happened last time. I'm going to talk about why I think we're going to win this game, and in effect, what all has changed since the last time we played, which, by the way, was just a little more than a week ago, and so much has happened. Okay, and on another note, what the eye test has told us over the past month about our prized first overall pick is actually being recognized across the league. It's not just bias, guys. I'm going to talk about what is happening with our rookie Cooper Flagg. I am your host, Ethan, the advisor Clayton. Welcome to the party. And by party, I mean dope podcast. This is Your Mavs, a Dallas Mavericks podcast where all are welcome. Y'all better behave. All right, so what I mentioned is that this is the second time of the season that the Mavericks are facing up against the Heat. First time happened not obviously Monday, but the Monday before, November the 24th, and we lost 106-102. Okay, in that game we were cooked, absolutely thrashed by Tyler Hero, and it was his first game of the season after returning from a toe injury. So we were cooked. We shot the ball poorly. It was right around 39%. We turned the ball over a bunch. We were out rebounded. We got bullied by Khalil Ware, right? There was a lot that just did not go well, right, in that last game. And I'm just going to say, so much has changed since then. I mean, we're not even like 10 days since that last matchup. And I'm gonna highlight a few things that have changed and ultimately why we are going to be kicking some tail tonight, okay? And by the way, whenever I've thrown out bold takes and bold predictions before, they've aged like sour milk. I don't care. I'm going to keep doing it. So the first and most obvious thing that has changed since last time is Anthony Davis is back on the court. Okay. He wasn't available last time. And in the 2 games that he has played since returning from his left calf strain, holy cow, our offense has averaged 125 points per game, right? That is such a huge change of pace. It is so refreshing from, if you compare that to what our output was at the start of the season, right? Again, we were on pace to be the worst offensive team in NBA history. Now, if we can put together a nice little stretch with Anthony Davis healthy on the court, average 125 like we have been, like, it's a totally different look for us, totally different feel. Okay. And I will say, I'm no doctor. It feels and looks like he has shed some of the extra pounds that he started the season with since he was sitting out with his injury. I don't know what kind of workout or what kind of diet they put him on whenever he was not on the court, but he looks a little bit fresher. He looks a little bit skinnier, right? Being skinny is not the be all end all, but you don't want to come in chunky. So I could be reading too much into that. I think he's looking and feeling better, and we are definitely a better basketball team with him on the court. Now, the second major change that has happened since last Monday is that we are now starting Ryan Nembhard, an actual point guard. All right. So it's really interesting. The turning point for us as a roster and the decision making we have around who's starting at point guard really took a turning point in the last game against the Heat. Right. It was in the second half of that game. Nembhard came in and dished 7 assists in 16 minutes, right? I mean, he got things flowing for us. He was finding open guys. He just really seemed to organize and set the table really, really well. And, we still lost that game, but we were kind of in a deep hole, and he helped us start to dig out of it. And we got, a few opportunities to tie the game, right? We would not have been in that game if it had not been for Ryan Nembhard taking over at point guard. And obviously, PJ Washington had a really nice game. But yeah, Brandon Williams quickly fell out of favor as the starting point guard. And again, that last game against the Heat was the big turning point there. Third thing that has really changed since last week, Klay freaking Thompson. Okay, he's really started to find his stride, and I'm going to call him a spark plug slinger off the bench. Okay, he is shooting 51% from three over the last 5 games. 51%, right? That's after starting the season at like 20%. So whatever funk he was in, it seems to have worked itself out. Shooters got to shoot, and homie is connecting. Okay, I like that he has solidified his role on this team as a, again, spark plug off the bench that just straight up gets buckets, right? We don't need you to do really much else besides that, but he's really started to find his stride. That is a huge factor for us in this game. And lastly, another big change that has happened since last Monday, okay? Cooper Flagg has discovered his powers. It's one of those things where he started the season a little bit shaky. His shots weren't falling. He looked like a rookie, but, it already feels like ancient history that we were talking about the fact that he was being played out of position. It was the whole point Coop experience. But now he is playing in his natural position. And holy cow, he is insanely effective whenever he especially starts at the 4. And he's done so the past couple games while PJ Washington has been nursing an ankle injury. Check out these stats. I mean, this is just a 2-game stretch where he's starting at the 4, averaging 29 points and 8 rebounds a game. Now, when I say that Cooper Flagg has discovered his powers, I mean he's starting to feel more comfortable. He's starting to feel more confident. Whenever he gets the ball, he's not immediately looking to pass to the corner or whatever. He is first and foremost attacking the basket. And, if the lane clogs up, then he dishes it out. I just really feel like the game has slowed down for him. He has discovered his powers, and he is incredibly dangerous. Okay, so those are the things that have changed. What should we keep an eye on tonight? I mean, I guess a difference for the Heat since the last game is that now Andrew Wiggins is back. He is healthy, and he is on an absolute heater. See what I did there? Miami Heat heater. Ha! Nice. And the second thing I've got my eyes on is I'm curious. This is more of a question. I'm curious, is our nice offensive stretch, our hot shooting, is that just a fluke? Right? Especially, again, when you compare it to how we were shooting at the start of the season. Was that a fluke, or is this a fluke? Are we somewhere in between the hot and cold? I'm curious to see what momentum carries into this home game against Miami tonight. So let's transition into some bold predictions that could age terribly. We'll see. All right, so here they are. First and foremost, I'm predicting that the Mavericks win 122-109. We're going to keep our hot streak alive. We're going to keep our win streak alive. Our shooting streak of scoring more than 120 in a game. I think we're doing that in convincing fashion tonight. Hopefully we don't start the game off slow like we did against the Nuggets, but I think we've really started to find our stride. So we will win 122-109. As far as like individual stat lines, I think, we're going to see a cool 25-10 from Cooper Flagg. And this one's a little bit crazier, a 30-15 game from AD. That would be really nice, right? That little duo, 25-10, 30-15. That's huge. And then lastly, stat line, I'm predicting not an exact number, but I do think that Ryan Nembhard is going to finish with double-digit assists again tonight. So those are my predictions. Mavericks win. Nice stat lines from Cooper Flagg and Anthony Davis, and then another killer, like playmaking performance from Ryan Nembhard. All right, let's wrap the show up. I mentioned at the start that what the eye test has been telling us about our beloved rookie, the first overall pick, the main event, Cooper Flagg. It's not just bias, okay? We're not like grasping at straws here. We're not sipping on, we're not taking hits of copium when we talk about how Cooper Flagg has really turned the corner. And when I say that the league is starting to really recognize that, he won Western Conference Rookie of the Month. And side note, I'm curious, like how many of those is he going to win, right? This was the first one that you could possibly win because it was the first full month of NBA play. So maybe he's going to get all of those. But his Eastern Conference counterpart was his old college roommate, Con Knippel. So just really quickly, I'm going to manifest this. I really want to see the two of them playing together in Dallas. Make it happen. There was like kind of the Twitter conversation with Kelly Flagg, Cooper's mom, on Twitter a couple weeks ago, where she was like, "Hey, he's talking about Kunkenipple. He's a nice young man, and I would love to see him play in Dallas. Go make it happen." Anywho, how did he win this award? I mean, he's been killing it. Here's what his stat line has said in the month of November. It was 18 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists a game, and there were certainly a few stocks in there. So in the month of November, he went nuclear, and I really think he's continuing to take steps forward, and he's his stock is very much trending upward. Okay. So yeah, one Rookie of the Month, playing extremely well. And speaking of stock that's really starting to trend upward, curious to hear what you guys have to say about this. I mean, is it a good idea for one to spend their entire Christmas bonus on basketball cards? Asking for a friend here. Anyway, I've really enjoyed collecting cards, and I've accumulated a few Cooper Flagg rookie cards, and I have an entire page of my favorite Mavs. You know who's not pictured in my Mavs page? That would be Caleb Martin. Okay. But anywho, that's really all I've got for you today. I'll be excited to watch the Mavs again tonight. I think we're again going to put up another win, get a 3-game winning streak going. Who knows? But tune back in tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, comment. Let's talk about any of this that you either disagree with or you want to go deeper in the weeds on. Let's talk about it. But yeah, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell on your screen so you can be notified when the next episode drops. And you know the drill. Y'all be good. Party on.